That was a filthy, a filthy cliffhanger. What the actual fuck? I mean, literally, I'm actually speechless. Okay, this episode, I have a few things that I didn't really feel too much about this episode, but it's one of those ones where by the end of the episode, those few things are what made the episode itself. So, for example, those few things are the whole things with Reigan and everything. I mean, so at the end of last week's episode, we saw that Reigan, he's the one who comes through at the end of the episode in the little sneak preview of what would be happening in episode 12, which is today's episode. And straight off the bat, when the episode starts, we see that Reigan was basically just trolling. He didn't actually know what was going on. I think he was just there because he managed to find on Mob's GPS on his mobile phone or something, or a text message or something like that. So that is why he was there. It's to the point of where even the underlings of Claw and stuff, they basically, it was all like a misunderstanding. It's more like a kind of like Hercule in Dragon Ball Z, where everyone thinks he's powerful just because of his presence and just because of how much charisma he has. So for that kind of character, it's pretty cool to see a character like this, especially in a series full of people. Sorry, a little burp right there. Especially in a series full of people who have esper abilities and who are extremely powerful and stuff like that. So it brought out a nice balance in this episode, but at some point I did feel to myself, ah man, just Reigan, like, I mean, how stupid are you? You can actually physically see you can't run away if you wanted to. He doesn't realize that he can't see the madnesses that are happening with Mob and all these esper abilities and all these demons and like all these other ghouls and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, there are sometimes Reigan you should kind of shh. And even when Reigan failed, he should have realized then you failed. So just kind of just step back and at least just get the hell out of there. Like, he knows Mob's powerful. He knows Mob can handle himself. Obviously, it's the whole emotional stress and everything. So for that respect, I do respect Reigan for putting Mob first in some circumstances. But you do see in a flashback that Reigan hasn't always put him first. I mean, Reigan, like, I don't know, he respects him and he's gone out of his way to always go get him. And in those kind of moments, it's like, okay, Reigan, you're a good adult mentor to Mob, and I could see why Mob would look up to you, especially because nobody would normally listen to Mob or even give Mob the time of day. So this episode was a little bit conflicting, not too conflicting, because overall by the end of the episode I loved it. That cliffhanger at the end was an absolute bitch. Sorry, I didn't even do it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Chris is Talking, and this is my episode 11 review for Mob Psycho 100. You know, got to do the opening. It just feels a bit more natural once I start doing that kind of opening. But yeah, so that was that. Like, literally, once, oh yeah, obviously subscribe and stuff to this channel for more Mob Psycho 100 reviews. Obviously, I didn't do last week's episode. My apologies, but it was a good episode. More like building up to this episode and the whole thing with Mob, Ritsu, Kageyama, and all of them breaking into on trying to survive and all the different fights and stuff, and Mob one-shotting almost every single one of Claw's people. So it was a really good episode, but let's just talk about this one right here. Like, it was good. At one point I was thinking, oh man, the episode's kind of going, there hasn't been that much action, like where's this going to end? And then we see that it's basically Reigan's episode. This is the episode of Reigan. I don't know if I'm going to use it as a thumbnail or a title or whatever, but it was the episode of Reigan, and we got to see the connection that Reigan and Mob have together, which led to a cliffhanger, man. Oh, that was a dirty cliffhanger. The whole emotion, we get to see that Mob, his emotions were rising and rising and rising and rising and rising and rising and rising. And then just when Reigan got to Mob and was like, it's okay, relax, you don't need to stress out. You know you can run away if things get too stressful. And then we just see the other guy with a sword just slash him across the back. Done. One-time deal. Just one-time deal. And then you don't even get to see the numbers rise. You just see 100. Just straight up, just 100, straight away. And then the ending song comes on and I was like, oh man, why are you doing this to us? Why teasing us? Like, and obviously, Mob Psycho 100 has a lot more chapters than what would be for the episodes, especially in the webcomics. So there is a lot more to it. I think I've read up to where Reigan showed up in the manga. So that this part was all new to me. I didn't know how Reigan was going to react, what Reigan's role and responsibility was in this episode, and how his connection was to Claw. Turned out to be there was no connection to Claw. Claw's underlings are just useless. Now, certain characters I thought was interesting. That new character, the short kid that we got introduced to last week, and he came from like another division, who seems like he's a trainee. His level of confidence, yeah, he oozes a level of confidence that's a bit higher than everyone else. I mean, to a point where he even like was speaking down to a guy with a sword whilst he was sitting down, showing no remorse. Is that a youthful thing? You never know. Is he just being a dick? You never know. But his level of his level of his attitude and stuff is just really high up there. So I'm interested to see what he has to do with the story, whether we'll get to see him and his division later on, because this the seventh division claw, even though the top are strong, the rest got taken out quite easily. They got kind of one shot. That guy who had a whole bunch of the whole bunch of like ghoul demon things inside the jar, and he released them, and I was like, oh shit, man, she's about to get real. He's been hyped up for like 2, 3 episodes, and then Mob just took him out quickly. I was like, oh, okay, well, all right, cool. That was pretty simple then. What I was pretty happy to see was the main division leader, the seventh division leader, with the black mask thing. When like Reigan's talking and he sees Reigan, and then he just literally just kind of lets rip at him, and he has gravitational ability. He made the black holes appear around Reigan, which was trying to suck him in, as well as everything around the building. That, what the hell? Gravitational balls of black holes. Crazy, loving it, loving it, loving it. He got kicked. He got kicked around the head like when he was trying to take out Mob at the first time. I thought that was pretty cool. Reigan did do good in this episode. He did do good. It was just that I felt like sometimes it was a bit too much shine on Reigan, and it was taken away from the whole drama and the threat that was happening in this episode amongst the kids and the espers so yeah, so it was about that. So I'm not gonna lie, at some points my interest did dip a bit whenever it went too much time to Reigan. I think they should have spent a bit more time on the fighting. I'm not just a fighting person, but when there's an opportunity to be using all this fighting, that is cool. We just put a bit more, maybe just a tad wee little bit about Reigan. But hey, that's my own thing. I don't think it's that bad, because it did end up adding a huge feel to the episode, which did end up giving us that dirty cliffhanger. If they never gave us so much about Reigan and Mob when Reigan got killed, I mean, we should have noticed that those were extreme death flags. It's been a while since I've been looking for death flags. Normally you can notice death flags, you don't need to speak about it, but damn, those were dirty. Those are filthy death flags. Hopefully he's not dead. You don't know what Mob's going to have. Like when Mob gets to 100, it's all different things, whether he's sad, happy, murderous intent, like animosity. So this new level of Mob is different, and I swear his eyes glowed red for a hot second. Yeah, I am literally yeah, I'm surprised. I'm really excited for episode 12. I think this will be the last episode of the season. Don't know when the next season's going to be coming out. Hopefully it should be coming out, because as you've noticed, Mob Psycho 100 is finally getting higher up there, higher up there. So yeah, exciting times. Who was your favorite fight during the fight? Who did you want to have more screen time of? Were you disappointed with that guy with the different ghouls and stuff in the jar? Where's Dimple? That's one thing I was looking for. Where's Dimple? Are you guys interested for Dimple? I want to see Dimple back with his 100%, the same strength that he had in episode 2 or 3 when he fought against Mob. Not that it's that powerful, but it would have helped against the other fodders around there. And do you guys think that the subordinates of Claw are going to end up joining like Mob in the future, and Mob having his own division with the whole Esper stuff? Anyways, apart from that, do leave all the answers in the comment box down below. You can find my links to all my other social media and stuff in my description box. Do like, share, subscribe. Importantly, subscribe, because I do weekly subscriptions. I do weekly reviews for anime and manga and stuff like that. And I hope you guys stick around and join me on my journey to becoming an anime reviewer person thing. I'm doing it right now, but you know, a professional one, a real one. Yeah. Anyways, have a great day. This is Chris talking. Peace.